This is so hard. Oh, this is so scary. Oh. I mean, it's public speaking, you know? Remember when everyone was afraid of public speaking? What happened? It's hard to be a wallflower and someone who's a writer more than a talker. It's scary to talk. Oh. There's so much congestion in my body right now. I have this thing in my ears and my sinuses. It's just... I had to wear cotton in my ears for a few days and have oil because I woke up with really intense pain day after the other, and rose oil made the pain go away. Cotton, I'm just being... And it's nice because I'm usually so sensitive to sound, so it's like the opposite, you know? Like, oh, all the edges off of all these sounds made me that much more comfortable. But it still feels weird to talk and just hear my own voice like echoing in my bone. Seriously, the first day that I woke up, I thought my eardrum had been punctured. It was like so intense. Pain and just like the robot sounds. All of my music sounded like off pitch. I just got lost. I fell asleep with earplugs in, and it was the ear that had pushed up against the plastic, and it just like, it didn't like that. Something about like the way the tissue was, or the fact that I already had a virus in my system. I was coming down with something on the drive to that place. And then the next day, and so I'm just listening to some good music. Just nobody needing much from me, not needing to talk to me, so it's been nice. My mom and my grandma are both like introvert, self-stim activity people, and as am I. So in our own little worlds, kind of bumping up against each other sometimes and helping each other out, but mostly indulging in so the point of this visit was to help my mom wrap up her motorhome and get it ready to move, kind of help her transition out from her folks' place, because she wants to move to Walla Walla. She's wanting to be based from there in her work, and she's got a network, and it's the good spot, it's the great spot, but just there's like these steps that have to be bided, and time spent places waiting for other things, you know. It's so interesting. It's so interesting to be going through this process of grief and loss with like parents who are equally like unstable as me, you know, like we are all kind of like in kind of temporary situations where we haven't quite figured out the thing and it's not quite there, and it's kind of exploded apart at one point, and I just kept moving around. There was nothing to come back to anymore, and they both like went back to their parents, but that is not always like harmonious or, you know, conducive to progress. So I am just here kind of to support each of them in turn, and like going through their process and doing their tasks and feeling excited about their future again and making plans again. Mom's at an interview right now. Her dream job that she used to have and wants to do again, and lets her travel all the time. Like, yes. I think my dad has a version of that and just needs to like steer his intention, energy, ship, what have you. And then there's also mine, you know. I'm also trying to walk my tightrope, but with the codependency of my parents, I have always been the somewhat of a mediator for them, and arbiter, and like emotional support. And I am hopeful that things can shift away from those patterns, because I also have codependent tendencies, some of which are okay and others which I don't need. And I want to be able to connect more deeply with people in real time, and also in a less transactional way or without direct context, even though that's the most interesting and exciting to me, is like when we're working on a project together or we have shared interests. Like those are the relationships that tend to last in my life, outside of like, okay, we're working together, we're in school together, like what connects us over time. And I don't know, it's cool to see who has stuck in my life through this like weird web, you know, and whom I love. Who's like interested in my rambling, you know. I'm interested in learning and building up my tools for long-term relationships, because that's new for me. So yeah, I'm not good at that. I think, in my like earliest childhood, but then when I had to leave a friend group, a family unit group thing, that was really traumatic for me, severing of those close ties, and I think I never really got over that and never really let myself get too close again, or I would get hurt, and I did often get hurt, and so I learned to not connect and reject first and everything. And so that's been a long road of healing, trying to reverse and trying to, as always, I'm really glad I have a group of people for the last 4 years who we've all been committed to each other and being friends and working out things and finding new ways to connect and be creative together, understand each other, ourselves, heal ourselves mostly, find a place to fit in where we hadn't before. That's been huge and very healing for me, and letting myself be witnessed by people in groups. Like, I honestly only make sense in a neurodivergent context, like around other people who are autistic or have ADHD. Like, if I'm not, like, I don't make sense at all, and people are really confused by me often. But around other people, like, there's something, you know, about our brains that, like, oftentimes we can just, like, understand each other really easily and get in a groove really easily and info dump, and it's exciting, and, like, that's where I like to be. So yeah, info dump at me, by the way. I'll take it. I don't really know why I'm talking to my camera right now, but I think it's because I'm alone in this hotel room after several days of not being fully alone and being, like, in a family spot. I just feel kind of like I can breathe again. I can think clearly again. I can, like, come out of myself again. So that's pretty cool. I'm just trusting it. Obviously I'm a little stoned, but whatever. I think that's all I got for right now. If you watch this, I think you're cool.